So we'll go back to calculus. We are working on example number 2 from section 3, module 2. Okay, so the answers are not in the textbook here. So why don't we go ahead, even though it's, why don't we go ahead and work these guys out. So here's a second example on interpreting graphs. It says you and a friend start out together and hike along the same trail but walk at different speeds. So see this figure right here. You should try and answer the questions below before viewing the video, which of course you're doing now, so hopefully you've had a chance to try to work through these and take a look at these. So it says 1, who is walking faster at t equals 20? Well, let's take a look which axis is which. So this x-axis looks like it's time, right? And it's measured in minutes. And then this vertical axis up and down looks like it is velocity or speed. Okay, so speed in miles per hour. Okay, and so now we know what our axes are, so let's look for 20. Okay, so we need, actually I don't like that color, it's a little bit bright on this white background here, so let's use red. And let's use something darker. Here's a dark red. Okay, so at 20, if I look at that one instant in time, it looks like you, you're the blue line, are traveling at this speed, which is less than 1 mile an hour, and your friend is traveling at this speed, which is a little bit more than 2 miles per hour. So the person who's walking the fastest here would be your friend. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at the next question. Who is ahead? Okay, so who's ahead at t equals 20? So at time equals 20, it says that you start out together. So you're down here, your friend's up here for your speed, right? Now your speed has been not so good so far, and their speed has been pretty good so far. So you'd expect, since they've been walking faster than you the entire time, their total distance is better. So your friend is still ahead. When are you and your friend furthest apart? Well, now that's a good question. So we have to look here to see, when are we furthest from one another? Okay. Well, your speeds are furthest from one another over in this section. And so even though the speeds are furthest from each other right about here, that doesn't mean you are furthest from each other. In fact, let's think about this. If we take the difference between these two lines, okay, so I'm going to look at a couple spots here. Okay, so let's check these pieces off here. At this spot, your friend is walking clearly faster than you are, so your friend is getting further away. So here your friend is still walking faster than you are, so your friend, since they have more speed than you do, they're further and further away. And so that happens, your friend keeps getting further and further away, even through here, right? Even right here, this little spot right here, your friend is still walking faster than you are, so they're still getting away. So they're going to be increasing their distance from you all the way up to this point right here. After that point, your speed is more than their speed. So now you're going to start catching up to them. Okay? And so if you think about this, what happened initially was between here and here, that whole distance your friend was walking faster than you were. So they were still, even though you were starting to catch up to their speed, you weren't catching up to them, because their speed might have been, their speed still up here was almost close to 3 miles per hour, and you were still less than that at 2 miles per hour. So they were still getting further and further ahead of you. Only here, when you both match the same speed, and now you surpass their speed, do you start getting closer to them. Okay, so when you're furthest apart, you're furthest apart at 40 minutes. Who is ahead at t equals 50. So let me just extend this just a little bit. So here's your speed. Here's your friend's speed. Now the question is did you have long enough to catch up to your friend? Well, you had 10 minutes. Okay, so you had 10 minutes in which your speed was more than their speed. However, they had 40 minutes in which their speed was more than your speed. So, one, we can start to look at the areas underneath the curves, but if you look, we haven't had that long, right? This distance right here, it hasn't been that long for us to catch up to him. Okay, so your friend is likely still ahead.